Live to the interwebs.
All right. What's up, everybody? Hope we're all doing well. Sorry, trying to get a good image. If anybody can't see anything I'm doing, just let me know. Hopefully that'll stay in place right there. And so, new block tonight. Started yesterday. We're going to be continuing pretty simple, basic kettlebell work and ramping up the complexity in terms of the movement. So we're going to be going single arm cleans. On the trainer row, it says double arm, but there wasn't a video for the single arm that we have in our catalog right now. But if you have two kettlebells, you're welcome to use them, but it's going to be 5 sets of 10 on each side. Now with the cleans being a little bit more technically difficult, not being in there with you in person to coach it up a little bit more, I'll give you basic cues, but if you're not comfortable with the technique, right, just keep it simple, go into a single arm swing, and keep it safe as well. So warm up is going to be pretty basic. We're going to make sure feeling good. We're going to go into our practice 1 cars, which will be the standing car practice that we do. I'll do it all kneeling again so you can see me a little bit better on the camera, hopefully, but let's get you going. So standing up, feet underneath the hips, engaging the hips, pulling the torso down, hands at the side, nice and tight, starting with the chin. Pull down to the chest, turn, look at the shoulder, pull the ear to the shoulder, head back, around, down to the opposite shoulder, turn, look, back to neutral and reverse. Keep nice and tall, keep the tension, pull the air in, pack it down, 3 on each side. Second to finish that one up. I see myself on Gail's TV on there. That's weird. Anyway, so sorry about that. Let's we'll move on to the spine. Yeah, nice and tall, keeping the hips tight. Right, keep planted down on the ground and engage. Hands around the shoulders, rounding down the torso. Turn and look towards the left. Pull the shoulder down. Rotate the upper spine back around under control. Keeping the hips locked in and engaged, so we're not compensating that movement for a bigger range of motion. Just take around what you can control. Good. Cool. So tall, shoulder blades, arms out, elbows locked. Deep breath in, pack it down, squeeze shoulder blades back towards the spine. Pull them up towards the ears. Drive them out forward, opening them up, and pulling them back down towards the hips. Keep them opened up, drive them back up towards the ears. Now squeeze back, drive them down, back to where we start. 2 more times. Maintain control, coordination, every aspect of this movement. Break it down into parts if you need to. And we'll move on to the shoulders. So 1 hand to the side, tight fist, nice and tall, keep the chest forward, bicep palm out across the body. Hold that arm up to overhead position, internally rotate, and come on back down around. Just this. I don't think that made a difference. kinks. While you guys finish up. Shoulders, go to elbows, palms, forearms turned out, fingers extended, full flexion, all the way up, tight. Internally rotate forearms, thumbs towards each other, legs extend out, back up, externally rotate, and back where we start. Total of 3, don't get as much. Flexion, extension, and up and down if you can. As much. Internal and external rotation. That flex position that we can get. Go wrists. Keep palm down. Keep fingers extended. Finger from the wrist. Elbows attached to the ribs, so lock in place. Edges of the square with the fingertips. Coordinate whole movement. Nice slow tension in the joint. Sorry, it's driving me nuts that I can't get this adjusted right. Plus, I want to raise it up a little bit. We're going into the hips. I'm gonna be standing for this, so grab onto a chair if you need to, or the wall, or freestanding arms out. Give you guys a second to get set up if you need to grab some sort of external stability. See a couple people disappeared from the camera. Or there's the wall. All right, arms out, pull that knee all the way up, ankle across the body, starting position. Open the leg out to the side, internally rotate the thigh, send the heel up, around, keep tension in the hamstring, good squeeze. Notice the foot's cocked out to the side there. Much internal rotation we can get. And then reverse as much external rotation. Sure, standing tall. Moving the leg through the hip socket, not moving our entire body. Each leg. All right. Once you get that, come back to the floor. Knees and ankles, forearm underneath. Hold the thigh as close to the chest as we can get. Now the opposite bicep, use the handheld guide. Now we want to turn the ankle and foot in from the knee joint. Extend the leg out. Turn the shin out and away and pull it in. 3. Once you get 3, slide the hand down, pull the shin in close, and bring that ankle around big and control the range of motion as we can. Around. Second, finish up. And then once we're done with these, we'll stay seated on the floor too. We're going to go into overhead shoulder flexion with a pause. All right, everybody's done. So we want to get similar position we were just in, seated, nice and tall. Torso up, ribs down, so we're not going to extend. We don't want to extend at the back, arching back in order to achieve the motion. Just knees bent, feet wide, tall spine, arms fully extended out in front. Thumbs be pointing up in our starting position. We're going to open those shoulders up from the armpits, pull them up overhead, biceps by the ear. Pause for 3 seconds, and come on back down. That's 1. We'll go 4 more, rest, and do a total of 2 sets. Up and down. Yep. 3. Up. 4. Up. And 5. Okay, out real quick. Second finish. And as we're going through this too, right, we want to achieve the optimal range of motion, get in a good position. Take the opportunity to be mindful of where you're getting, how much shoulder flexion you have in there, how much range of motion and mobility you have. Just, it's always good to know what you're capable of. So let's go second set now. Nice and tall, arms out in front, thumbs up and up. Biceps by the ears if you can. Squeezing the shoulder blades and down. Up. 2. Up. 3. Up. 4. Up. And 5. All right, now we'll go back standing. And just like we do a lot of those weekend classes or conditioning, a little bit more of that dynamic warm up. We're gonna go 10 knee hugs on each side, reaching down, grabbing the shin, pulling the knee up to the chest, grabbing the opposite leg, pull that knee up to the chest, go 10 on each side. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Once we get to 10, if you haven't finished yet, it's all right. We can just go right into the shin grabs. Got pretty familiar with those. Grab an ankle and the shin, pull it up towards the chest. Get a good stretch on the outside of the hip there. 10 on each leg. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. All right, one more. Feet under the hips. Gonna go toe touch. Again, this is gonna start priming us for that hinge position swing. So bending from the hips, reaching down, just open up the spine, up top, total of 10. 2. 3. 4. All right, while you guys finish up, once you're done, grab some water. I'm going to adjust the camera a little bit. We'll walk through some swing cues, some clean cues, and then we'll get started on the work. So again, we're going to go 5 sets of 10 on each side. So total of 20% on the hips, and we'll go about 45 to 60 seconds break. I think past couple weeks we've been doing pretty good with about 45 seconds. Everybody seems like they've been feeling pretty good. Getting my timer set up. Okay. So with the clean, as always, right? Kettlebell's done on the ground. You know, the camera angle, right? It's a little difficult, but setup's the same as a single arm swing. Mechanics slightly change once we have the arm hitched back. Initial start is the same. Height from the ground, rotate that thumb back. Now from this position, what we want to do is take the hand and the elbow past the hip and punch up into rack position. Once we're in rack position, so thumb close to the collarbone, standing nice and tall, brace torso, sending that arm back out, down. Don't let it get too far out away from your body. We don't want to overextend, put excess strain on the low back to send it out. Boom, right back down between the knee area of the hips. Forearm makes contact with the inner thigh. And again, difficult part is the transition between pulling towards the hip and safely landing, because the bell will still be out away from the hand as you pull here. And it'll start that transition of rolling around towards the forearm as we come up. Now, the essence of coming up is we want to make that soft transition where the forearm meets the bell and they both stop together, lessening the impact on the forearm. So again, not being there in person and not really being able to see you guys, right? Based on your experience, skill level, and just comfort with it, just make smart decisions. And, you know, we just want to have a good workout with this. So if you need to do a single arm swing, we've been doing those last block, so we know what to do there. From those that I can see, is any immediate questions on those right now, or are you guys kind of ready to get going?
Which direction does the arm go up front?
I'm sorry?
Back out, the arm comes across the front or just straight up?
This is the same start as the single arm swing,
And then
but for the clean, we want to keep that bell versus like on the swing, it comes body in, you know, a projection away from the torso. Where here, now we're transitioning, the hips are still driving forward as they always do, but the pull on the arm is almost like a single arm row. So you can imagine if you're doing a dumbbell row here, same idea. I'm rowing and then bringing it into a position in which I would be ready to go and do an overhead press. So you can kind of break it down. Now, in real time, it'll happen like that. But if we want to break it down by parts, you can think single arm row, into rack position, getting ready for a press. Does that help? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was just watching where because I didn't know if it was going around like front or like if we're pulling front at the same time, like pulling up and going.
It'll be right here.
Okay.
Directly midline.
Okay.
But very close to the body. It's not coming out away from us at all. Okay. Thumbs up. Perfect. Love it. So again, 10 on each side. Let's get set up, feet planted. Yeah, make sure the load is on the hips, tensions in the torso before we start, bells out and away so we can get a good trajectory back between the hips. And let's make it happen. 10 on each side. Set and go. And these are consecutive. So. Make sure between sets we're setting it back down on the ground safely. Reposition ourselves if we need to. Get the head squared away, dialed in. So. Cool. Start the timer. Get a quick rest, and that's set one. Yeah, these, because they have a little bit different trajectory than the basic swing, you have to create a little bit more force on each rep, even though we get, you know, the help of the elastic property of the muscles in there. So once we get up in a couple sets, I mean, if the fatigue starts really kicking in, just, you know, make sure technique number one, stay dialed in, and it'll be all good. We'll have fun.
Oh.
And don't drop the bell. All right, about 10 more seconds. Yeah, we're going 5 sets. So if you need a little bit more rest in between, slightly behind, that's okay. All right, here we go. Set 2. Landed. Grab the bell. Good position and go. Stuff. Start the timer. And when we're in this tall position as the bell comes up, keep engaged in the hips. That's where our power derived from. Make sure we're not losing that torso position. Let's see. Yeah, looks like a couple people are still working on their second set, so we'll give you guys a little extra time in between.
My dogs are trying to die by kettlebell today.
They're seeing how much fun you're having.
This is not a ball that you want.
All right. A couple more seconds. All right. Time's flying. Let's get set up for set 3. Grounded. You on the bell and go.
That's it.
Where should your hand be on the bell?
Your hand?
Yeah, like
Right in the middle in this position. Now there may be a little bit of a shift when you're pulling up. You'll still be in the middle, but the angle, I don't know how well you can see this. My hand's still in the middle, but the angle of the bell is a little bit offset just because of how it's hanging from my palm right here. But you want your hand right in the middle so that you can get the most amount of grip on that you can. Some of the exercise like get-ups, sometimes the thumb will end up kind of in the corner of the loop.
Yeah.
When we're in this position. And so because there's a little bit of a finesse with the hand as it's making that transition from the normal part of the swing coming around. You have to give it enough room to swing. So there may be a little bit of a transition in there, but I mean, just for general rule of thumb, right in the middle. And then the rest will kind of take care of itself once you get to that rack position. All right. Now, as long as that makes sense to everybody, let's turn on set 4. Ready? And go.
Oh, graceful.
And just a quick reminder again, as we get more fatigued, especially like during that initial pull, you don't want to let your arm get way out too far away in front of you, because that'll really make that impact a little more difficult. You just kind of want a nice, smooth transition, letting the forearm sweep near the ribs and hips. And there's a lot of little technical details that we got to kind of feel out on our own in this situation, but the more comfortable you're feeling with it, the more we can layer on some of those little details. All right, well, that's been a minute. You guys are ready? Let's get this last set. Ready? Go. Oh, those will get you. All right. You guys finished up your set. Grab a drink. I'm going to reposition the camera so we can start the cool down. We'll do a little bit of resting postures here for a minute before we go into just the breathing. Get a little bit slightly different cool down. But take your time if you need it. Grab some water. May go by quick. That's a lot of work to do in a short amount of time. All right, well, you guys are ready. We'll first posture, spend about 30-40 seconds in each. Toe sit. So if you can get your toes on the ground, sitting the butt down to the heels, fine. If not, we can go top of the feet flat, sitting tall. If that bothers your knees, you can just go tall kneeling or just sit on the ground. That's okay. essence of what we want to get out of this is just getting ourselves into a good position where we can breathe in, expand the rib cage, and start winding down the nervous system. So, and all right, 30, 40. Go pancake. Little karate stretch. Legs wide, as far as you're comfortable. Nice and tall, arms out. Just reach, stretch, and breathe.
My body's not made for this.
Uh-huh.
My body's not made for this.
That's all right. It's just a cool down. It doesn't need to be technically perfect.
Oh, don't worry. It's not. Biscuit? What you doing, Biscuit? Do you want to stretch?
Back side of that. The third one. Do this on both sides is the bow stretch. So lying on the floor. One arm, the left arm outstretched past the head. Right arm comes back, grabs the right leg. Pull the torso slightly up. Pull the ankle, the quad up. Breathe. Your head's turned to the right too.
Biscuit.
Relax out of it. Switch sides. Around this side. Out of that. And then we'll go into our 90-90 for a minute. Before we were doing 2 minutes, but since we've included the other positions, we'll go a minute. So feet up against couch, wall, or face down, crocodile breathing. Just in through the nose, out through the mouth. Your face up, hands on a rib, one arm overhead.
Dummies.
Right. Slowly roll yourself around. Hair rush. Or take all the time you want in that position. That's okay too. And that's short but sweet, but another successful Tuesday. Hope everybody had a good time and